Welcome to the Windy City Rundown. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Windy City Rundown with myself, Eric Avila. That's my boy right there, Jose Contreras, coming to you live from his cribbo, as both are actually. If only we could start off this podcast one day, this brand new season of the Windy City Rundown on a positive attitude, Jose. I think that's all we're probably asking for, my guy. But what's up to everybody on Facebook, guys? Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, on YouTube, and on TikTok, where we post all our reels from our episodes. But yeah, Jose, man, bro, where to fucking start, dude? This shit's fucking embarrassing, my guy.
I'll tell you where to start, Eric. Let me have the floor for about a minute.
Go ahead. I'll put down the mic for you.
Look, as you can see right next to me on this side, top of the screen, season is over. Finito, done, kaput. Why? I get it. Jose, there's still X amount of games, 6, 7 more games left in the season. Why are you saying it's over? Let me tell you why. We couldn't defeat the New England Patriots. What makes you think we are going to beat the Lions twice, the Packers twice, the Vikings twice, the San Francisco 49ers, the Seattle Seahawks? Why? What, because you think Sam Darnold threw a couple interceptions, a few interceptions, all of a sudden we could beat them now? We couldn't even beat Drake May. We couldn't even score a touchdown on the 2-win team Patriots. But we're supposed to beat a 7-win team in the Minnesota Vikings? We're supposed to beat the Seattle Seahawks? Our defense is tired. They're slow. They're sluggish. They're done. Our offense can't do a damn thing. Caleb Williams got sacked 9 times, and we're supposed to win 6, 7 more games. Season's over with, Eric. Over. Even if they do come out with a couple of wins, we're a 6-11 team at best. And that's even if we win 2 more games. I don't see it. The season is over with. The Bears have never fired a head coach mid-season. That needs to start today. This needs to be that season. Otherwise, what are we doing? What are we watching? What are we? What do we have to look forward to? We're not trying to tank. For what? Season's done. It's over, man. It's over. You're asking how I feel, what I want to start off with? That's what I want to start off with. Season is over. There's nothing, Eric, you can say, there's nothing anybody in this chat can say that will convince me otherwise. That's it. Nothing. Shea Waldron is not all of a sudden going to start calling better plays. Matt Eberflus is not all of a sudden going to start acting smart. No, it's not. And Ryan Poles has so much to blame, and we'll get to that later on in today's episode. Go ahead, Eric.
I'm not with you. I think if they lose against the Packers this Sunday, I think the season's actually over. I'll take one more game. I'm not there yet.
Why?
Yes, it's been a very emotional train ride for the last 3 weeks? Right? 2-3 weeks already since the Commanders game. I felt this team felt broken that game, and it actually showed the week prior against the Arizona Cardinals, and then at least for a half up until the touchdown run before the halftime. And then last week it just felt very demoralizing. But I would say this though. Anybody that says like, oh, the season's over, I think this is a little kind of too premature for right now. It's pretty hard to keep a quarterback standing up when the backups is actually your starting lineup. I felt sorry for Caleb. Literally, your whole supposed starting lineup on the offensive line, even though the offensive line has been the problem for years and years and years down the line. I get that, but it hasn't been that bad to where like the backup to the backups is your starting right guard, and the backup to the backup is your starting left tackle. You got a backup center, your backup right tackle. Like it was a whole bunch of backups starting up in your offensive line. Um, so I wouldn't put all the blame. It's hard to find some continuity, and like what's the biggest important team that needs or side of the football is the offensive line that has to have a lot of continuity because they're the ones that communicate. Just like the quarterback, and it's hard when there's just a rotating line of offensive linemen as your starting lineup. And I get it. Before you say anything, and I get it, and everybody's going to say the same thing too. I understand it's been the problem for the last 10, 20, 14 years, however long it's been since the Bears have a decent offensive line. But yesterday felt different. Yesterday, it just didn't seem right. And obvious reason is the reason why we only scored 3 points.
Eric,
It's Jose. I know where you're gonna go with, bro. I get
where
it.
am I gonna go with, Eric? This team, even with the offensive lines, not beating the Packers twice, the Lions twice, the Vikings twice. What's the point, Eric? What's the point? To be mediocre? To what? To be a 10th? To be a 10th pick in the draft? 11, 12? What's the
We're
point?
14th right now at the moment.
Right. We're 14th at the moment.
Yeah, but even then, so it's like it's either. Let's just say if you do make the playoffs, right? Which is on any given Sunday, anything can happen. And we had this argument even when Mitchell Trubisky, that the last year of Mitchell Trubisky being the Chicago Bears and putting in the playoffs, me and John said that any given Sunday, anything can happen, and that still holds true every year of any season, right? But I still have a lot of I don't know something. I feel different. I don't feel there yet. I feel like if they lose to the Packers on Sunday, then I'm right with you. But I feel like there's still something like for some reason I feel like they're going to surprise us for some odd reason. I don't know why. Don't ask me how. Even though yesterday was an atrocious game, yesterday was disgusting, yesterday was horrible, yesterday was there's something.
Let me ask you a serious question. Let me ask you 3 questions. Are you taking the Vikings out of the playoffs for the Bears to get in?
No. What?
Okay. Wait, no. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Not right now. No.
No. Are you taking the Commanders out of the playoffs for the Bears to get in?
Maybe.
Eric, they're 7-3.
That's fine.
Let me ask you
great.
again.
That's great. They still have to face their division.
Yes or
no? A couple times. They still have a few hard games in there between.
Yes.
Maybe. They're maybe. If I
was, it's a yes or no answer, Eric. Answer yes or no. Are you taking the Commanders out for the Bears to get in? Yes or no?
The Commanders are probably the only team I'm gonna say yes to.
You're crazy, bro. You're already on crack.
No,
so the Bears, bro. In order for the Bears to get in the playoffs, either the Vikings, the Packers, or the Commanders have to lose.
Right.
A bunch of games, which is I don't even see happening.
I
the Bears understand have to win games.
I get that. But the Packers still have to face the Vikings, I think, one more time. They still have to face the Lions twice. What? I think they still got the 49ers or they still got somebody from the NFC West. Like two more games in the NFC West.
They got to face the Lions and the Vikings both one more time. They already played them
one more time. Oh, yeah, because they played them at the beginning of the year. Yeah, the Bears are twice. One more time. Like it's possible. Again, I'm going to say this right now on record.
No, bro.
If the Bears lose Sunday, then I'm right with you. This season's over. I'm not. For some reason, I just have this weird feeling like.
Hold on.
Some shit's gonna happen.
I'm not letting it slide. Are the Vikings gonna lose to the Titans next week? Yes or no? No.
If they play like yesterday, maybe.
No. Are the Vikings, bro? No, they're not. Are the Vikings gonna lose to the Bears the week after? No, they're not. Are the Vikings
here at home? Yes.
No, they're.
Optimism runs high, Jose.
And what did they show you, Eric? The last 3 games. Well, against the Commanders,
the last 3 games that the Vikings came down to reality, and they're the team that we thought they were going to be.
Against the Commanders, coaching sucks.
I get it. Jose, you don't. I understand that. I'm telling you, something is going to happen, bro. Like I don't know. Something is going to happen. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going on my gut feeling.
The last couple episodes, we were talking about insanity, bro.
I know.
Here you are doing the same thing every year, expecting a different result.
Nah. dude, how should I put this into terms? Now, I'm not saying championship. I am not, because the last time I got these weird little feelings was when the Cubs won in 16, and when my soccer team, my Mexican soccer team that I root for, has won the last two championship teams. I'm not saying championship, but I just have a weird feeling like the Bears are going to not make any type of noise. I don't think they're going to surprise us. And I'm not saying Super Bowl. Let me get that out of the way. But like I don't have this real strong. I just have a weird feeling like something weird is going to happen that could change the season around, and then it'll be surprising for us. I could be wrong. Maybe there's weird feelings. I got to take a shit. Maybe it's that. But I promise you, I don't know. I'm very highly optimistic after a game like yesterday, which is so weird because I would have been down in the dumps too, but I'm not there yet. And I think maybe that's the reason why. Maybe I just need to have that final blow to where, like, all right, yeah, guys, the season's over. And maybe this feeling was that I had to take a shit all along in this episode for today.
I don't know how you don't get that against when we don't score a touchdown against the Patriots.
Yeah, we haven't scored a touchdown in literally 7 quarters. I know
19 drives. 19 drives.
That's 7 quarters. It's 7 quarters.
Our punter has more yards than our quarterback right now, and that's nothing to do against Caleb Williams.
Right.
It's not. Let me make that straight. It has nothing to do with Caleb Williams. It's just that's just how bad it's been for us. Okay.
I know it's been a very tumultuous and tough 3 weeks, and who knew that a Hail Mary could put us in this position? But there was times.
I'll explain to you why I don't think the Hail Mary put us in this position.
I think you did. I'll tell you why you did. Go ahead.
Tony said, I said it last week, they're not winning another game. He goes on and says, we fucking wait all summer for this. Our season is over. Washington deflated this team. Let's be honest. I'll explain why I don't think that's the case, Tony. CP says, I said you had to be a 6-3 or 5-4 going into the gauntlet to have a chance. You lost to the fucking Patriots. It don't get worse than that. That's true.
It could be worse.
No, bro. This is where rock bottom. The coaching staff has no heart.
I agree with that one.
Says, Eric, stop dreaming. Have you even watched them?
I have every single minute. Well, not every single minute. I missed like the first
5. Come on.
First teams. Maybe first 10 minutes of the game because I was watching the Arsenal game.
Which also they tied, by the way. Eric, they lost to the Patriots. What hope could you possibly have?
I'm just overly optimistic right now.
Eric, what have you been smoking or drinking? Please stop.
Eric, high quality H2O.
I think that feeling you have is more for your Arsenal team. I could see them coming back and making a run more than the Bears, and that's saying something right now.
Well, yeah, I mean it's two different things. Like it's a very long season. There's still 27 more games left in the Premier League for my Gunners. Instead of the 7 games left or 8 games left for my Chicago Bears. Every game still counts at the end of the day, but yeah, no, you're absolutely right. There's still a long time to go for my Arsenal.
Let me explain to you, Eric, why where is that? He said Tony goes on and said Washington deflated this team. Let's be honest. Let me tell you the reason why that wasn't the case. In order to say that Washington deflated this team, you're, in my opinion, right? You're blaming that. That's the sole reason why this team is having its woes. That's not the case, guys. It really isn't. This would have happened even if the Bears would have won against the Washington Commanders. Let's be real. They would have came out and laid an egg against the Arizona Cardinals because the Arizona Cardinals are a much better team, and they would have still lost to the Patriots. Guys. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Eric.
No, I don't think so. I think the performance would have been a little bit better.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I haven't made my point yet. This is the reason why I say this. Okay. Matt Eberflus is not the coach. This team is solely reflected on its leadership or lack thereof.
Agree.
So regardless, even if the Bears won that Washington game, even if that Hail Mary didn't go through, they still aren't well coached to come out and beat an Arizona Cardinals team. They still aren't well coached to even beat a Patriots team because regardless of the fact, our offensive line wasn't going to win us this game no matter what.
Oh yeah, because the whole offensive starting line was gone.
It was
out.
gone. It was
It was gone.
gone. So we would have lost against the Patriots regardless. The Arizona Cardinals would have came and spanked us regardless.
No, I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. Go ahead, but I don't think so. And I'll tell you why.
This season ended not when Washington won. This season ended when Ryan Poles decided to bring back Matt Eberflus and not get Jim Harbaugh. That is when this season ended.
Coming from the guy who picked the Bears to win the division in the first earlier episodes of the season.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That is when this season ended. When Ryan Poles decided to bring back Matt Eberflus. That is when it's
ass with your pancake ass. You picked the Bears to be this.
I'm just saying.
And then
I was wrong.
Ryan Poles' fault to bring back Matt Eberflus.
Wait.
You know what?
The one thing. One more thing. I can, Eric, I can admit when I'm wrong. Okay? You still have optimism. You're still in denial. I can at least say, hey, I was wrong. I picked the Bears to win the division, and I was 100% wrong. But I did it based off hype. I did it based off hype on Caleb Williams. I did it based off hype on what this offense should have been. And I was the fool. I'm you right now. I was you right now. I had optimism. I had confidence. I had belief that this Bears team was different. Just like how you are saying, I have this feeling that, all of a sudden we're going to start winning games and make the playoffs. I'm not saying championship. I'm not you a championship. Come on, bro.
Okay. I stopped listening to you the moment you said Brian Poles at the beginning of the season. So everything that you said afterwards, bro, I stopped listening because everything else got out of your mouth is actual bullshit. But let me tell you what, Tony, why I agree what Tony said, that Washington deflated this team, before we bring on our guest who's on right now waiting for us on the line. What Tony said is true. Washington deflated them because of two reasons. One, the struggle that the offense was trying to get down to score a single touchdown in that game, or have any productive touchdown or any productive offense in that game, all the way up to the fourth quarter. They fought. They looked bad, but they were still in this game. They were still there. They got 2 scoring touchdowns. They came back with seconds left in this game on the offense when it was finally when they were struggling. They finally got down there and got the lead. That struggle began right there. Even it was right there. They deflated them because, one, you give them an opportunity on a 13-yard pass, and then obviously whatever happened with the Hail Mary happened. Not only was the offense deflated at that moment scoring the touchdown, so was the defense. That's why you got somewhat of a half-ass, a quarter and a half performance from the defense against the Arizona Cardinals, and nothing afterwards since, even including yesterday's game. It is hard for this defense to stay consistent week after week, game after game, play after play, when the offense really isn't giving you anything. And then at the end of the day, it's even harder when your backup to your backup left guard is your starting left guard, because they're not really fully healthy. Am I blaming the injuries? I'm not blaming the injuries. It's part of football. It's part of the game. I get that. I understand that. It's part of the game. I get that. But you're right. The emotional damage that this team suffered from the Washington game literally deflated the whole entire football staff, deflated the whole entire defense, and deflated the whole. It even deflated the head coaching, because now the head coaching or the coaching staff can't handle the adversity that's been handed to them ever since that play. From Stevenson to the Hail Mary to Matt Eberflus saying that those took 13 yards has been absolutely nothing. Like, this team has struggled. The head coach has been struggling to come up with answers, and it's been showing on the field. I will give you that. That's why I agree with Tony that the Washington defeat has deflated this team. Again, I am saying that I'm giving it up to the Packers week to be on board with you guys. I still have this optimism. It's very slight, but it's more positive than anything. As we bring in our guest here, CP, and guys, you can also join us on our conversation too as well. Our link is also right here on our comment section on YouTube and on Facebook too as well. If you guys want to join in the conversation, I think we can have up to like 4 guests at the same time. If I'm right, I think I'm correct. Maybe more than that. I'm not 100% sure. So if you guys do want to join this conversation outside of the comments, you guys definitely can. We love to see you guys on our show too as well, as we bring in our boy, our guy, our man, CP Dilla. What's up, my guy? How you feeling, CP?
Well, after last week, I was too hurt after last week to come on the show with y'all. Like the Washington thing, just like it hurt too
It's
much.
playing everybody. I get it.
Yeah, that one was depressing. This one was more anger. Like
Yeah.
this is where we all are pissed off at this moment.
I know. I get it. You're absolutely right. I'm not saying I was upset. I was mad. The performance, it was just literally a waste of, my Sunday afternoon, mid afternoon yesterday and watching it. But I
Mhm.
mean, at the end of the day, I still found a way to come up with my head held high and still have some optimism for this upcoming week. I know Caesar says fuck Flute was what up, Caesar? Caesar says fuck Flus. If they fire Flus, I think we have a chance. Tony goes on and says it's all about momentum, which they did come back on the road game, which they have not won, and they were 21 seconds from a win and lose it like that, 100%. And I think that's where the
Nah, man.
this deflation of the Chicago Bears in their season, they finally poked a hole and found a way to poke a hole, and now the Bears are losing air in the season. But CP, man, we're here, bro. Air it all out, man. Air it all out. What has you upset the most?
Where do I even start, man? I mean,
Anywhere at this point, my guy. Anywhere.
I don't know, man. It's like, okay, Jose, it sounds like your main issue is coaching.
Yeah.
I
That's what
think
it
that's the
sounds.
main issue.
Okay,
Overall.
Eric, do you have an issue? Like, is there something you feel like that bothers
Oh
you the
no,
most?
no. Trust me. There's an issue, man. I
What's
was
your
looking.
main issue?
The main issue is what I preached throughout the preseason and before the regular season started is the progression and the learning experience and the learning curve of Caleb Williams. And to
Mm-hmm.
a point, we got there. It showed even in the tough losses in the beginning games of the season with the Titans and then the Texans and the game after that, I can't remember, the Colts. You saw progression from Caleb Williams.
So
These
what?
last
So
three games, there's no progression.
Eric, what's the
There's
answer,
regression
bro?
now.
So that,
And
so,
that's
so,
that's
so are
my
you
that was
blaming the
always my
development? Are you
that was
blaming the
always my
development of Caleb Williams or what?
that was always my key thing for this upcoming season. I'm not saying just yet that they're stunting his development as an NFL quarterback, but I'm also not saying that they are doing him justice and getting his ass beat
Why
and
don't you
getting his
just,
ass
bro? Why don't
sacked
you just pick
100%,
why don't
like
you pick
in
a
most
lane,
of his
Eric, bro?
games.
Pick a lane, Eric. You're the only person in Chicago. You're the only person in Chicago that's saying that they're not studying his growth. Everybody and their mama, everybody on the radio, everybody on social media is
Again,
saying that the process is already started. That the Bears are already studying his
again, I
development.
don't I don't think
Just
he
say it.
heard me well.
I'm
I
not
don't think he
saying that they're not doing it, bro. Yes, you are. Just say it.
again.
No one.
I'm not
You want to be the smartest guy in the room. You want to
again.
be the one guy who says, "Well, I told
Again,
you guys, I
I
was
agree.
right." Come on, Eric.
I'm not saying it, bro, but they're showing the regression from Caleb Williams is literally what I just said. I'm not saying that they're that was my big thing, but I'm also saying like they're having
Just say
trouble
it.
they're having trouble these last three
Jesus
games.
Christ.
Caleb Williams has regressed. And that was that's my biggest downfall for so far this season of the Chicago Bears is
Which is
where we're
what?
at right now today.
And who's the blame? Coaching, which is coaching. So to answer CP's question, it's coaching. Thank you.
It's Shane Waldron.
I did notice something. Okay, the last game before that bye week was the game in London, right?
Yes.
Doesn't it seem like, I don't know, they went into that bad week? Like you would have thought that during that bad week they didn't prepare for anything. Like you would have thought they all just went home and just chilled the whole time. They came out of that bye week like
Booty cheeks.
exactly how they came out in week 1, bro.
And they haven't looked anywhere near that near perfection game that they had against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London ever since.
Like right. And I feel like that was their peak and they were starting to figure things out. And then, I don't know, coming out of the bye week, it's like, I don't know, like, did Shane Waldron change it up? I know injuries play a factor. The fact that you're sending like a B team O line out there, like, I don't expect you to like really have a chance with an O line like that out there. So I know
Right.
everybody is like putting the blame all over the place. I do understand where Eric is coming from, Jose, where he said he like don't want to completely give up yet. Like there's just certain circumstances that's holding us back right now, and like that offensive line being beat up, and I feel like is kind of the one of the main things. But Eric, I am noticing the coaching too, bro. Keenan
I am
Allen
too. I am
Keenan
too.
Allen and DJ Moore are too damn talented to not be like on display out here, bro. It's like
Coach
they're not even
Matt,
getting open anymore. I blame
Coach
that on play
Matt,
calling. Why aren't
Yeah,
these Pro Bowl receivers finding a way to get open?
I'll tell you
and
what it is. I'll
and,
tell you,
and
let
the
me give you
DeAndre
let me
Swift
give you
not running on the offensive line too as well. Like they had to stop bringing in DeAndre Swift because the one thing that he cannot do is pass protect or run block for a quarterback. And Roshan Johnson literally played the whole entire second half of yesterday's game because they couldn't protect him, and that still wasn't enough for Caleb Williams to stand on his 2 feet.
Let me give you a reason. Let me give you a reason why Shane Waldron's play calling is hurting someone like DJ Moore. This is his worst season since he's came into the NFL. He's had a different quarterback every single year he's never had the same quarterback since he started in the NFL. Every single year he's had a different one. And his best year was last year with Justin Fields. I'm not saying it was Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. I'm not saying that. The difference is Shane Waldron and his inability to be able to get this man and these wide receivers who are way too talented open. It's the scheme. His offense is trash. Caleb obviously cannot throw the ball quick enough because by the time he's looking up, the offensive line has already, busted
On his
the play
backside.
or whatever. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
he's
for
already on
sure.
the floor.
What did Jackson Smith on Seattle say when he was asked about the Bears hiring Shane Waldron? What he say? He was like no comment, and then he laughed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he knew
he knew.
that there was limitations to the play calling
Because
with
he
Shane
looks
Waldron.
damn good this year. You
He
saw
looks
what Jackson
way
Smith did
different.
a couple weeks. The
Way
receivers
different.
for Seattle look completely different since he left.
And DJ Moore is a big indicator. Again, we all know Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Justin Fields, but why did DJ Moore have his best season statistically with Justin Fields last year? It's because the play calling was a lot better, even under Luke Getsy, than it is with Shane Waldron. 100%. Eric's looking up. Eric, I already seen the stats, buddy. Every year, he had a different quarterback. Every year.
He did.
This is his worst season to date. That's why he's
No, I know
frustrated.
that. I'm not even looking up DJ Moore. There was something about Shane Waldron that I saw not so long ago that and I just want to fact check myself, but I think Shane Waldron, since he became a OC in this league or whatever offensive a coach, let's put it like that, a coach in this league, I think Caleb Williams is the only rookie quarterback he's ever worked with. And I just want to see if that what I read that is absolutely true, and depending how far back he started, which comes to prove like where his either A, his patience, or B, his actually coaching skills on trying to teach somebody new the NFL. And I know at first we were giddy about Shane Waldron at first because I think we were all fascinated with Geno Smith the year prior to last.
Right. That's what got our attention.
Yeah, his comeback player of the year. I think he got Seattle into the playoffs, and everything
Hmm.
like that. And it was the second season, the season that we should actually just paid a little bit more attention to on the decline in the play calls. And I had never realized, or I never really understood that last year there were so many hitch plays. There were so many, there were not many that plays when you have DK Metcalf, who is possibly might be one of the fastest wide receivers in the league. Definitely one of the strongest. That man is swollen for no fucking reason, but that man is swollen as shit. A perfect, precise route runner in Tyler Lockett, and like you guys said, Jackson Smith and Jigba, whose rookie year looked like he escalated, and then all of a sudden, like last year, just kind of was on a decline. I saw that a few of their plays. I think it was like 15% of their passing plays had more plays for over 30 yards. And maybe we should have just looked at it in the bigger picture, but I think the fact that we just wanted to get all the toxicity out of Luke Getsy and Justin Fields out of Chicago, then it's something fresh.
Right. We were just ready to move on to anything.
Ready to move on, and I think we didn't see the bigger picture at the end of the day in the beginning of the year, and bring in an offensive coordinator. But also it just comes to show, guys, that there's been times so far this year in these first 8-9 games of the season where now I just feel like Matt Eberflus is like the water is up to his neck now, and he doesn't know how to swim out of it. You know, and especially the last 3 weeks, you could tell like y'all remember Matt Eberflus, how everybody's making a big deal out of him this whole offseason, saying like, oh, he got a nice beard, he got a nice haircut, he looks very confident, he looks very polished, he looks this and that. There's energy, this aura around Matt Eberflus. And then the first game of the season happened. It was kind of like, okay, you got away with one, right? Second game against the Texans is like, okay, you got your ass beat, which was given.
But the defense still played their ass off.
And consistently week after week after week, what was the topic of the conversation? The defense kept us in the game. The offense was just one play away. They were in every single game up until they had their explosion game up in Jacksonville, and then they had that stretch prior to that. Which I told you guys, I thought it was a little bit too early to have that bye week for the Chicago Bears, especially how that offense was humming. I think if they would have continued, we would never have been in this position. Maybe,
I said that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I was worried coming out of the bye week too.
It's one of those things where you just sit back and look at it, and like sometimes we're drinking this Kool-Aid way too quick that we really don't do our homework, and we just don't look at the bigger picture at the end of the day.
You still are drinking the Kool-Aid if you think they have a chance to come back.
I don't know, man. I have this. I should have been mad. I should have been more upset. I should have been more angry like you guys. And it's frustrating. Trust me. I know. I'm just as big as a fan as you guys are. You know, and it was frustrating watching that whole entire game yesterday and saw absolutely nothing but punt, field goal, punt, downs. It's annoying. It is. But it's just I don't know, bro. Like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it.
But what frustrates me is that even if they do win 2 more games, 3 more games, still miss the playoffs, guys like you, like no offense, but the way you're thinking is what it keeps us in this mess, because it's always the same cycle that repeats itself. Matt Nagy wins a couple games out. Hold on, let me finish talking. Hold on, I let you talk, bro.
We're gonna release
Matt Nagy wins a couple games down the stretch. What happens? We keep him another year. Matt Eberflus is not gonna get fired if he wins a couple more games. At this point, I'm rooting for losses. I need this man out of here. Nothing's going to change. Nothing. I'm sorry, but nothing's going to change.
And that's what worries me too, because do we really want to keep putting ourselves in this cycle where, because we just brought a rookie quarterback in, like we get him into this system for 1 year, we fire him, and now he has to learn a whole new system next year. That's the frustrating part about this. Eberflus, like, I'm not gonna say he's just terrible as a head coach, but I do think he would be like slotted to, like, if he was to take over the defensive coordinator world for the Bears, I feel like he'll be better in that department. But the Bears need, like, they need a smarter head coach, bro. I just like just decision making. You see Tyrese Stevenson yelling at the crowd, John Harbaugh or any other coach, you know what they gonna do? They gonna call a timeout to get this shit together. Like, no, man, get your ass over here, bro. Like, you're about to cost us the game. Like, Eberflus saw the man, bro, and he was just staring at him like,
bro,
just looking stupid.
Another game yesterday. Caleb Williams got sacked 9 times. You're still 3-4 minutes in. He's still getting hit. What? The game's over. Why is he still?
Take, and that's what worries me too, bro. Like, if we're gonna have a beat up O line the rest of the way, I'm over on the board of sitting Caleb, bro. Like, you're going.
It's not because of his performance. It's for his health.
You're going to wreck this man, bro, if you leave him behind this O line, bro. 12 sacks in the last 2 games, like. And now you're going to face the better defenses. You're going to face Minnesota twice. You got to face Green Bay twice. Jared Goff just threw 5 interceptions. He threw 5 interceptions and won a game, bro.
Right.
Like, when you see that, like, What?
And then you still got the 49ers who have a good defense. You still got the
Right, and
Seahawks.
now the 49ers are healthy. Seattle is definitely not a pushover. That's why I'm like, that's why I'm on like the understanding of Eric. Like, where do you see like any hope when you look at how Detroit is and you look at Green Bay, Seattle, San Francisco? Like, where does your hope come from that the Bears could like figure this out?
It's hard to say, CP, but I feel it in my stomach.
It's
I feel it right
again,
here in my soul,
again,
my guy. Like I just feel it.
So
again,
you just feel it in your heart, bro.
I feel it in my heart. But
It's heart over
again,
mind at this point.
exactly. But at the same time, I will come to realization that if the Bears lose on Sunday, then the season's over. I'm right with you guys.
I mean, bro, when you lose to the
lost.
Patriots, I feel like your season should automatically be over when
I
you
don't
lose to
know
the
what
Patriots.
the Packers is gonna do.
Drake May.
Bro, like
We lost to Drake May by multiple scores.
We lost. We lost. Yeah, I know that's crazy. That's even crazy.
That hurts.
But so at the end of the day, guys, we can sit here, we can conversate about this and that about the Chicago Bears, and we're gonna repeat the same cycle at the end of the day. You're gonna get a new head coach, you're gonna get a new offensive coordinator, Caleb Williams,
and we could end up right back in this cycle again.
Caleb Williams, it's Mitchell Trubisky, it's Justin Fields. Hell, you can even put Jake.
That's why I said what I said.
Yeah, it's even Jay Cutler in that bitch of having 7 different offensive coordinators in his last 7 years. You can even add that to the cycle too as well.
But that's why I said what I said.
Yeah, of course. We know Jose. We know.
We should have had Jim Harbaugh. We should have just got him in.
Jim Harbaugh. We could have had Ben Johnson. We could have had Bill.
Ben
Belichick.
Johnson was the one for me, bro. I don't know how we didn't go in that direction.
I mean, when you become best friends with, or when you whatever relationship you build, a relationship with your head coach and stuff like that. And granted, look, if there's a little bit of an excuse made for Matt Eberflus, is the fact that you destroyed the team your first year. You got a little better your second year when you got a little bit more weapons. Let's see if you can handle this team when we give you even more weapons with a new rookie quarterback that can actually play the position, and see how far you can take us. That's probably like the bare minimum of excuses that you can have, where you can feel like, okay, Matt Eberflus never had a chance, but let's give him a chance with this team, see if he can take us there. Now we know that he can't. But again, you guys are absolutely right. Like, that's the risk you're willing to take for your rookie head, or for your rookie quarterback, to hopefully potentially, change this cycle that the Bears have been within the last 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, maybe not 40, but definitely 30 years of this cycle of, rookie head coach, same quarterback, same head coach gets fired, new quarterback, new system, new everything.
So let me ask you guys, what would you rather have then coming into the next season? Would you rather have a new head coach, new OC, or the same head coach, new OC? Or what would you guys rather have?
I mean, regardless, at the end of the day, you're still learning a new system, whether if it's a new head coach or a new OC. It's still the same thing. So if you're gonna destroy it all, tear it down from the studs. But this time, I just feel like it's all or nothing for Ryan Poles at this point. Which now we could just move on to the next segment here on the Windy City Rundown here on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you guys follow us on all our social media platforms. Like, at the end of the day, like, who's to blame here? Is it Flus? Is it Poles? Hell, we can probably even go into the higher ups and put the McCaskies into this. Like, who's really to blame for this whole entire debacle for the Chicago Bears, Jose?
Obviously, look, we could always blame the owner, but the owner is not going anywhere. Jerry Reinsdorf isn't going anywhere. George McCaskey isn't going anywhere. So
I'll be so sure.
It's not. It's like I've said it in the past. Until the McCaskies, sell the team, until the Reinsdorf sell the teams, maybe we have hope. At the same time, they're not doing that. They're not. That's not happening anytime soon. So we gotta look at the GM. What have you done before the season? Ryan Poles knew that this can go either way. He gambled, and right now he's losing. Right now he's losing. I'm not saying he lost completely, but he's losing. He's losing. He gambled and he's losing. He's like, hey, because the options were simple. You either bring Eberflus back and hopefully it works out, or you fire him and you bring a new coach and hopefully it works out.
I remember everybody saying in Poles we trust.
Well, yeah,
Man.
I still
look,
do.
he's made good decisions as far as constructing parts of the roster, but he's also ignored parts of the roster. The offensive line is the
Yeah,
glaring issue.
I
The
think the O
glaring
line
issue.
is the only thing he slept on. I
Right.
personally,
Defensive
I think he did good in like other departments. Like
Yeah.
some of these trades he made, like they made sense, bro.
But
He just slept on the O line part, and now it's showing.
now, if that was the only issue, if coaching was decent but the line sucked, then we get it. Like fix it next season, we're good. But then again, his job is to evaluate. What did he see in Matt Eberflus that's shown? You know what? I think he's going to be the best head coach for Caleb Williams and his development. When you didn't really see much from Justin Fields, okay, cool. Justin Fields has a limitation. He has a ceiling. So let's try Caleb Williams and see what Matt Eberflus can do. But Matt Eberflus is more of a defensive coach. So then, okay, let's look for an offensive coordinator and see who's around. You and Flus chose together. Continuity is what they always say. It's what they preach. It's what you hear. They were in continuity when they chose Shane Waldron. That's his decision. That's a personnel decision. You didn't work on the offensive line. You didn't do your due diligence in bringing in Shane Waldron. Ben Johnson wanted to be here.
He did. He said it
Jim
himself.
Harbaugh wanted to be here.
He thought
I'm just curious. For when they interviewed Cliff before Shane Waldron, what did they see in Shane Waldron that they didn't see in Cliff Kingsbury? That's the question.
Cliff was Caleb Williams' coach in college.
Right. So what prevented them from going in that direction?
Kyle Murray and Arizona Cardinals. That's what
do you mean? What like Kyler Murray's success?
Kyle Murray and how he was with the Arizona Cardinals. That's all it was. You look at the Arizona Cardinals when Kyler Murray came out of college, and you saw like there was some progression. The Cardinals started pretty hot, and then all of a sudden that offense started to die down real quick, which is why Cliff Kingsbury essentially got fired from Arizona. He went to college. He did the whole college scene, college scenic route, and everything, and came back to the NFL. He had the interview. But from my understanding, from what I have read, it was just only to get information about Caleb Williams, and maybe they did say about the offensive coordinator position. I don't know, but for sure, it definitely had to do with Kyle Murray and his time as a head coach with the Arizona Cardinals at that time, which was probably one of the things. Does it sound stupid? Yes, but when you start off as a top 10 offense and then you ended up in the bottom half of the league in offense in that same year, it speaks volumes of what your offense can and cannot do in this league.
It didn't scare the Commanders, though. The Commanders, they were like, they saw that, so you know what? I think we're going to take a gamble and it worked. So
yeah, but also Jaden Daniels and Kyle Murray, two different talents, two different sizes, two different.
So is
Caleb
Williams.
Caleb
Williams is a better quarterback than both those guys. I mean, it would have worked out.
Well,
where's your logic here, buddy?
I mean, Jaden Daniels came off of Heisman winning year straight out of college, and then Caleb Williams was a year removed from it. So I mean, it goes however you want to view it at the end of the day, I guess.
Jim Harbaugh was a year. Jim Harbaugh came out of college winning the national championship. He chose Matt Eberflus.
Right. I mean,
at the end of the day, it's Ryan Poles' fault, bro. I don't know how to tell you.
No. It's really hard to blame Poles, to be honest with you.
You can't blame just one person. I feel like it goes around.
One person. I think at the end of the day, the feat falls at the organization and not really being a very cutthroat organization. At the end of the day, everybody wants to be buddy. They preach family. They want to be like, oh no, we can't fire a coach middle of the season because that's not how the Bears do business. We're still in the 1940s and not in 2024. We're still in the 20th century, not in the 21st. They have such a very old school minded approach to all of this. And to be completely 100% honest, there's really no football people on like literally above Ryan Poles, maybe Kevin Morin. But other than that, nobody else above them is really football related. It's just inheritance from family. It's
literally.
I mean that's pretty much what you could say. Let's just put it into this context, and then take it however you want to take it. for you to hire or for you to reach out to 7 different people to do your job, to find your GM and your head coach, to say it all. It should say it all. That's how they got Ryan Poles. That's how they got Matt Eberflus. They hired for 10 weeks Bill Polian, football people, the people that work in the organization that has to deal with the Chicago Bears. They had to hire that many people because there's not a single person in that high up there and the higher ups to make that decision. They have to go to outlets to make that decision for your GM and head coach. So let make that make sense.
Well, they're right, but that's the thing. Like they look, the thing is, it's the post a lot on Ryan Poles, right? I'm not saying that he's a fuck up. I'm not saying that he was a bad decision, right? They did what Eric said they did to get Ryan Poles, not to get Matt Eberflus, but to get Ryan Poles. Once they got Ryan Poles, it was now his decision to construct the team. It was his decision to either keep the head coach, to bring in the offensive coordinator. That's why I put blame at his feet. Because again, he's the one who got us Caleb Williams. He's the one who got us DJ Moore. He's the one who fleeced the Carolina Panthers. He did his job at that point. But then it's okay, now construct the team organizationally. Okay, is Matt Eberflus the guy? That was his job to vet, not McCaskey's. It was Ryan Poles. Do I bring him another year?
Wow, what was the deciding factor there though? If you know you need somebody to like mold your rookie quarterback, like it's probably best to go in another direction. Maybe you could have moved some things around, but like maybe it's like y'all said, was it a family thing and keeping Eberflus around? Because I just don't feel like Poles. I don't know. I don't feel like he made the real decision on it. I know it's his job, but I don't know. It just seemed like somebody behind the scenes wanted to keep Eberflus a little more.
I don't know.
I honestly do believe
it makes more sense. It makes more sense to keep Eberflus if you have Justin Fields, so you're not like, oh, here's another offensive coordinator, blah blah blah. Bringing in Caleb Williams, that was your reset right there. You're bringing
what you say, Eric?
You're bringing a new rookie quarterback. You're bringing a new head coach, and there you go. Now they're at least the clock is now reset.
Right, and you got yourself like another 3-4 years for all of this to work. And I agree to that certain point, but I also feel like what I said earlier has a little bit more validity too, where he really didn't have a fair share at a decent team in his disposal to coach. Outside of, like you said, outside of like, okay, it's a family thing, we can't fire a head coach so early, it's not right by him, blah 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 blah. And you're right. I don't. I'm gonna hate saying this, and I hope I'm really wrong about this, but I really do think they hired Poles because I felt like Poles was a yes man simply because it's his first GM job, and then he's just getting like, hey, look, you can't do this, yes sir. And I think that's all it was. And I know he faces all the hard questions at the end of the day with the media, and he's very well polished and he's very well spoken. And he gives you a presentation of because he's a big man in the building. But at the end of the day, guys, I still feel like the influence of the McCaskies is still there, them not knowing what to do. Because again, I don't really necessarily think that Ryan Poles literally hired Matt Eberflus from the get-go, from the first time around, because they gave him a list of who, and then they ranked the tiers of here's the head coach from 1 to 2, 3, and 4 that we like. Just oversee it. That was always the news around it. They say that Ryan Poles picked Matt Eberflus, cool, but I honestly don't feel like he literally picked.
I don't believe it.
Matt Eberflus. That's a good point. That's a really good point. He didn't do the coaching search himself. He definitely had a lot of but that's why I'm saying. But that's why I feel like, okay, you didn't have your first pick at Poles, but you should have at least had a say so in bringing him back or not. Now if what you ready to say,
I agree. That's where we're right here on that.
Yeah,
part.
but I hear CP at the same time. If he's saying like, yeah, but if somebody behind the scenes was telling him was in his ear telling him to keep Flus, then that's an even bigger issue. Then in that case, we're screwed. It's never
right. That's the case. We ain't never figure it out then, because I don't see Poles as a yes man based on like interviews I've seen with him talking to people and like his little on the show with Pat McAfee when he was talking about like how he felt disrespected by people saying stuff like Ryan Poles just don't give off that vibe where he gonna let somebody like control what he do or like tell him what to do. But like you said, it's his first GM job, so like he don't want to come in there and just like, all right, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want and nobody's gonna like get in my way. Like you said, dude, the McCaskies, they don't give off the vibe that they'll like let you do what you need to do to run a team. It's not like they're going to like Jerry Jones. They probably be always sticking their hand in there, like, wait a minute, we like okay, we'll let you do all this, but we really would like you to do this one thing, you know. And that one thing probably could have been keeping my influence.
Yeah, because they don't want to pay. They still don't want to pay the man not an absurd amount of money, but a good chunk of change for him not being employed with the Chicago Bears. And I think that's where the business starts for the Chicago Bears. Like you let him go after your last year, and that's about it. Yeah, you can't fire him midseason.
Well, imagine how many coaches they had on the payroll even after they were fired. That's on them, though.
What Trestman, John Fox, Matt Nagy, Matt Eberflus now. Hell, you can even put Lovie Smith up in that category. Dick Duran. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, man. I mean, what it's crazy how 3 weeks literally could just change the vibe of the team. Like 3 weeks ago, bro, we were just hollering, hooting, and
we were riding the high, riding the high.
I feel like it was a ticking time bomb even when we were winning because the coaching staff already had its issues beforehand. Remember, the players had to go have a meeting with Shane Waldron even before they started winning games, even after the first two games. Like that's how you know it's like, bro, like, hold on, what's going on here? There was already like glimpses of what was to come, even in the games they were winning.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was a ticking time bomb. It was bound to happen.
And now that bomb exploded. It's crazy. It's crazy. 3 weeks makes a difference, and that saying that winning cures everything. Boy, is that really true, man? Is that so
maybe we'll probably be talking a different way if they find a way to beat Green Bay. We'll be saying, "Oh, maybe they did figure it out. Maybe they should keep losing."
I agree, CP, because I want to see what the conversation is all about. How would it change? Would people still drink the Kool-Aid, or would people just be like, you know what? It's just a blimp. It's just a blip. It was a glitch in the matrix. It was just a one-off because the Packers were on a bye and blah 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 and this and that, and the Bears got lucky or some shit like that. Like that would be the topic of conversation. And the fact that the matter is, like, if they beat the Packers, then I'm like, okay, do it again, but this time beat the Vikings. And now the Bears have to prove to us and has to prove to the fans that they can actually do this, even after what happened the first half of the season. Like now it's just the Bears have to prove to the fans and prove to everybody, the media, the fans, everybody, that they can do this. Like they can, you know what? It happened. We talked it over. We hashed it out. We beat the Packers. We beat the Vikings, I guess. Let's just hypothetically put that out there in the universe. And then here comes the Lions. I think the Lions are at home at Thanksgiving.
At home on Thanksgiving.
If you can compete with the Detroit Lions, then maybe win or lose, if you can compete and be there at the end of the game, then okay, you have us again, and now our confidence will be riding so much high, because if we could compete with our division and beat 2 out of the 3 and then 49ers and stuff, blah, 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 then yes, the tone changes. But a loss is just like, all right, fuck it. We're just waiting for when they fire Matt Eberflus. If they fire Matt Eberflus midseason, if they fire Shane Waldron, and we're still in the same tone as we are today next week. Maybe even anger. Maybe it was just like, it was bound to happen, boys. Right?
Yeah,
right?
I feel like the anger was for this week. Next week off of loss, it'll literally just be us looking forward to the offseason, to be honest.
Fuck this team. Let's just lose games. Let's get another top 10 pick. And so on and so forth.
Like I said,
and you look at a mock draft, every pick needs to be O lineman.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, honestly, like if they could win a couple more games, I'm just gonna be like, for what? You know, at this point, like, just
what are you doing?
Like at this point, like I get it. Like I want Caleb to develop, and that's fine. I'll be okay with it, even if they win a couple games. But in my head, I'm just like, they're not making the playoffs. They're not winning a championship. So,
no. Championship, you're going too far. Playoffs, there's always a chance for playoffs.
They're not winning. They're not making the playoffs. So in that case, it's like if you can't protect Caleb Williams, I'm all for benching him until you get an O-line to help him out. Otherwise, I don't need my generational rookie quarterback tearing his ACL because we can't keep him upright. 3 hours of the day. So
Right, and you look at the teams there behind, bro. Right now, Green Bay holds the 7th seed at 6-3. They're behind Washington 7-3, Minnesota 7-2, Arizona.
Right,
And San Francisco's right there at 5-4. So it's like, where would the Bears even find a way to get in, bro?
That's what I was trying to tell Eric earlier. I'm like, bro, they're not making the playoffs, bro. Like, I don't know what he's comprehending, but there's no way in hell you are. Look, it's
right.
One thing for one of those to fall off, but you're asking for a lot here. It's not gonna happen.
Maybe if we was in the AFC, we might have a chance, bro. But like, no, the NFC is stacked right now.
Let alone the NFC North is pretty fucking stacked.
Right, like, bro, it's too much to overcome.
I'll be with you guys next week if they lose against the Packers, and I'll probably be even more pissed if they get their backs blown out by the Packers too as well. And then I'll just join you guys, and I'll just be on the rage too as well. I just want to give out some optimism somehow, some way, because everybody's on a negative vibe, understandably. Everybody's negative. Everybody's very in a bad mood because of the Chicago Bears. I just want to be that glimmer of hope, guys. Let me be that glimmer of hope. Something. Let me shine light, at least. At least.
I would feel different if it was anybody else, bro. But the Patriots, bro, that can't happen, bro. They're playing a bunch of. They playing a bunch of second, third stringers, bro.
Right. Them losing to the Packers is respectable. If they lose to the Packers next week, it's because the Packers are actually a good team. That's okay. But the Patriots,
backups, my guys.
The Patriots,
backups to the offensive line, guys. I mean, what else can you say? Like, there's really no offensive starting linemen that were the first stringers in the game, anyways. Like, it was going to be hard to beat them, or it was going to be hard. Like, if that offensive line was already struggling mightily to keep Caleb Williams on his 2 feet, what makes you think the backup to the backup is going to do a better job than the starting lineman, guys?
Like, that's Shane Waldron's job to overcome that.
I
know. When you got DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen and DeAndre Swift on your team, you with a bad O-line, you got to figure it out.
I'm gonna be rooting for the Bears because fuck the Packers. Right, fuck the Packers. I want the Bears to be the Packers.
4 out of the 5 linemen to return this week, and it hopefully it'll be a different story at home.
Yeah, I mean, both of your tackles Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright, they make that much of a difference, bro.
Both your tackles, you only had one starting lineup in your guard in Tevin Jenkins, and he ended up getting hurt, and you're wearing your backup.
He always is hurt. Oh my god. Like, the littlest thing hurts him, bro. He's literally the Anthony Davis of football, bro. I can't even.
But we have a glimmer of hope, of course, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I didn't think it happened if everybody just shows up. I guess I don't know what to tell you. I just want to be that guy for today's episode because everybody's too damn negative today.
All right, Eric. Speaking of being that guy, you're the guy who's ready to give up on the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah,
no loyalty whatsoever.
Oh no! Don't even start with that, bro.
No loyalty whatsoever.
Nope. As you can see, I don't know if you guys see my board right here. I actually wrote something down. Jose, if you could just give me the spotlight for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever. All right, cool. That's a little farther away. But up here, I have Eric, potentially new NBA team. On the left, right here.
What?
It's a possibility of me switching to my NBA team after February 6th if A, Jerry Reinsdorf doesn't sell the team, or B, they don't trade Zach LaVine. If they're here at the end of the year, this is going to be my new team I'm going to root for. And on here, the right side is the team that I'm not going to root for. It says thanks, but no thanks. So for the next couple weeks, I want to, before the trade deadline, I want to introduce this new segment I'm going to evaluate every single NBA team, all other 29 NBA teams. I'm going to evaluate each and every one of them. And I'm gonna run down 2 teams and put on 2 teams on the board. And that's how I'm gonna go. So what I need, this is gonna be my criteria. All right. Do they have a future? That's obviously number 1. I don't want to be rooting for a team that is just good 1 year and the shit for the other. Star player on the team is a big one for me. Right. history is not a big deal, but does make a difference if they have a very historic team. Obviously, Celtics and Lakers will probably do them very last because they're the highest winning NBA teams. For the city, I think it has to be, the city has to be pretty cool, has to be pretty cool vibes. And 5, I know I'm gonna be very picky on this, but the colors have to be dope. I can't pick a team and the colors are shit. You know what I mean? But out of the 4, out of the main 4 is, the future, the star potential, or the star player on the team. And also, like I said, not a big deal, but is the history of the NBA team.
All
So
right,
starting next, go ahead.
How about this, Eric, real quick? Starting next week, right?
Next week we're doing this.
Let's start with the division and go from there. Let's start with the division from. We can do the West or the East, either one. But let's start with the division. Let's go within those 4 teams. 5. I don't know how. Is it 4 states? Like 6 teams.
Like
right?
It's five teams in East Division.
So we'll go through the 5 teams, and we're not gonna pick, right? We're just gonna go based off what your criteria, and we're just gonna kind of see, like, okay, what we'll test the waters a little bit. You know what I mean? Test the water.
What I was gonna do is I was gonna pick one Western Conference team and one Eastern Conference team, and that way we can just balance it out back and forth.
No, well, let's
do division by division.
Let's do a division. We'll narrow it down to like from 5 to 2 in the division, and that way we play it. We stretch it out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
And then we eliminate like a playoff or something.
We're definitely gonna do 2 a day because obviously the trade deadline is February 7th. We're already on November 11th, so it's like it's like 2 months away technically. Right. So 2 teams.
We'll probably run two divisions then. We'll do the 2 divisions next week. 1 East, 1 West.
Or 2 teams.
Let's do 2 divisions.
2 divisions.
And then we'll narrow it down, and then
I want to keep going up into the trade deadline though. That was the whole point.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So we do 2 divisions, right? Because we only do 1 show a week. So we're gonna get to February really quick. So what I'm saying is let's do 2 divisions, 1 East, 1 West. You're gonna pick a team from each division, and then the next week we'll do another 2 divisions, and we'll do that until the week of February 7th. You should have already a list of what teams you're gonna pick, pluck, or keep, or whatever.
Okay.
Play on. Okay.
Sounds good. I'll definitely do that then, and that's what we're gonna do. Sorry, next week we're gonna bring in a new segment of Eric's potentially new NBA team. We're gonna have a whole ass intro to it and everything.
I need a backstory of why this is even happening.
I guess somebody doesn't watch our TikTok reels and YouTube reels and Facebook reels over here.
I mean, yeah, but bro, are you telling me Zach LaVine is the reason you jump into another team?
Well, I actually that has a strong that's one of the reasons. But honestly, you heard of the sports mulligan, right? You know what? Yeah.
I don't feel like this qualifies for that.
It qualifies because since growing up, the Bulls have been ass for years. Years and years after the Jordan era. They gave us they give us a small glimpse of Derrick Rose, and after that it's just been up and down mediocre. I think what did it for me, and this is just me, is the year that they said that they're going to get younger and faster, and they brought us Dwayne Wade and Rajon Rondo. From there, my trust issues for the Chicago Bulls have started, and the trade for Jimmy Butler kind of accelerated a little bit. I was thinking about it, but I didn't want to put it out there. And then everything that transpired afterwards. And then we get 4 good months of NBA basketball from the Bulls when they brought in Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic, Zach LaVine, and all of that. His contract was another reason. I was like, man, it's another negative on my part too as well. Like I started hating it. And then obviously we're back to the same bullshit that we had for the Chicago. I'm just tired, CP. I'm just tired of being a Bulls fan. It's annoying. It's annoying. And again, Jerry Reinsdorf, I'm not a Sox fan, but I feel the pain of a Sox fan because I'm a Bulls fan on top of that. I'm tired of it too, bro. Like I'm just tired. And then you can't even watch them. You got to give a fucking antenna to watch them play and shit like that. Like it's just a whole lot of bullshit that I just can't deal with it anymore, my guy. Like I can't. I could easily watch, let's just hypothetically say, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are a young and up-and-coming team, and I could watch them on TNT, ESPN, hell, even the NBA Pass if they have it every once in a while, and watch them comfortably and actually like, damn, this is some real good basketball. I can actually watch an actual good team. I haven't had that with the Chicago Bulls in like 10 years.
I feel Eric on that one. I feel Eric on that one where it's like, look, I was such a basketball fan during the Rose Bulls era,
We all
and
were.
since then it's been hard to watch. It's been because I like to be emotionally invested in the games I watch, right? And that's only going to happen when I have a team who's like legitimately playing. So like the Bulls they're hard to watch. I can't watch them. I'm not gonna give up on them. It's kind of like the Cubs. The Cubs haven't won for 100 years. So like once the payoff comes, it like that feeling you'll never forget. So that's why I'm sticking with the Bulls. That's why I'm sticking with the Bears, right? As much as I talk shit, like right, I'm sticking with the teams because of that emotional payoff that I got with the Cubs. I want to get with those teams, so I'm gonna stick around and wait for that. But at the same time, I don't blame Eric because like again, like you want to root for the NBA, you want to cheer for the NBA, but it's just not the same when you don't have a team that you're emotionally invested in. So I get where he's coming from. And it makes good.
It says, I mean, like, if you want to temporarily like drop them, like forget about them for a while, I'm okay with that. Like, so you can share on another team, fine, whatever. But to completely drop them all together and just have one new favorite team, like once if the Bulls, like, let's say they somehow luck into drafting somebody like Cooper Flag or something, like. You're gonna be on the outs there, and like it's gonna be an exciting time in Chicago. We're gonna be talking about it again.
And then what, CP? And then what? Like we saw it with Derrick Rose. I think you and I were right here when it comes to Derrick Rose. That team wasn't enough that they built around him to even compete for NBA Finals or NBA championship. I think you and I can realistically say that, right? What because of that, what makes me think, or what I don't think that the Bulls are capable enough to even build a team, even if we did get a Cooper Flag. Like they're not capable enough to build a team. And even when they have a decent player, even when they have a good player to build around, they decide to trade him away.
I agree with Eric. I agree with Eric.
And look what Jimmy Butler has done since he left the Bulls. He made the Timberwolves into a playoff team. Great. It didn't work out there, but you could tell the difference that he made. He did the same thing in Philadelphia, even though Philadelphia had a little bit more star power, but he also made a difference there. Hell, he took the Miami Heat to 2 NBA Finals. Like it's just.
I agree with that. And what you think he was going to do that for Chicago?
Look. No. I think
I don't think so. But the thing is, like, they just don't know basketball. At the end of the day, they don't know how to build basketball. I'm not saying a basketball team. I'm just saying basketball.
Well, let's think about it this way. We'll see you real quick. Let's think about it this way, and let's compare it to the Bears, right? We were talking about ownership and their stupid ass ways of bringing in people. I honestly don't believe in this regime we have right now with AK and Eversley because they've shown time and time again they can't build a team right now. They don't know what they're doing. They're stuck in the mud.
They're just there.
So let's just say they go, right? They're gone. Now we have to trust in Jerry Reinsdorf. That's even worse.
Even better.
That's even worse.
It doesn't even make it better.
Look,
like it's just
I'm with y'all on that. Jerry, like the Bulls can never become great again. I feel like until Jerry is gone. Yes, AK, their building skills have been noticeable, but I'm not gonna be mad at some of those decisions they made. Like I know the whole city hates them for trading Rose, but I'm being honest, y'all. And Rose is one of my favorite players of all time. Around that time, I think it was time to make that move, bro. Around that time, we weren't going anywhere. Yeah. We were trending downward, bro. You had to get what? Huh?
That was Garden Pax.
That was Garden Pax.
Garden Pax traded Rose.
Right, that was Garden Pax, and like I know everybody hated them for that, but like you got to know when it's time to make the move. And like the Jimmy Butler thing, like we were consistently a first round exit, and that falls on them not building the right team around them. But it was like, yo, if you're not gonna build the right team around them, what do you gatekeeping them for? You know, so you got to get what you can for them. They traded, they got Lowry for him. I mean, Lowry is doing his thing in Utah now, but I mean, you got to keep taking chances until you hit the right one, I guess. But like, I don't see the point in just like keeping the same players so you keep doing the same thing. Like, I don't want to keep doing this play-in thing every fucking year, bro. I don't want to keep being a 10 seed and thinking you might make the playoffs, and even if you do, you might get swept. But like, you got to keep taking chances until you hit on the right one. But unfortunately, we don't have the staff to even have hope for that. So I don't know, man.
CP, it's been 26 years to somewhere in between have that, and they lucked into Derrick Rose. They lucked into him. They still couldn't do it, my guy. And I'm just tired. I'm legit tired. I'm tired. Like I haven't watched this. I've watched like let me rephrase this. I'm sorry. I heard 2 or 3 Bulls games so far this year because I can't watch them. But even then, so bro, like they don't give me no type of hope whatsoever in this in the future. And I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy to root for 2 teams that play in the same league. I'm not. I've never been. I don't like being that guy, and I'll never be that guy. I can't say I'm gonna root for the Bulls, but just because I like Luka Doncic, I'm also gonna root for the Mavs because I like the player. Like I can't do that. Like I was like, yeah, that player's cool. I'll watch it, but it's like I can't be like, yeah, that's my second team. I don't have second teams. I only have one team and one team only. So me personally, if I rather just cheer for a new team, I might as well just jump on and just fuck this team at the end of the day.
You rather
But
give
it's
up?
like you don't have like when people see Eric, they think Bulls, they think Cubs, they think Bears, bro. So it's like you can't just come out of nowhere and just say, "Oh, this is my favorite team." They're gonna automatically know you like jump ship. Like that's the thing here.
That's fine, bro. I will take the shit. I'll take the hit. I'll take whatever it takes. It is. And I'll just give them the reason why. I was like, I just can't do it anymore. Like I seriously cannot. Am I gonna wait another 4 or 5 years until maybe Jerry decides to sell the team, or
no
his unfortunate passing or something? Because it's been so long, and it's one or the other. It's one or the other.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And one thing, CP,
I just can't, CP. I can't. Not another season, bro. I just can't.
And here's the thing, CP. He can't come back, obviously. So
right, that's what I'm telling him. He leave, don't come back, bro.
Once I leave, I'm gone.
That means I don't want to see you at no Bulls games or nothing, bro.
Right. He knows the risk. He knows.
I know the risk. I know the risk.
Hold on. He could be at Bulls games. Like if we go to New York, CP, why wouldn't we go catch the next game? We're not Knicks fans, but why wouldn't we go catch the next game? So he could be at the Bulls game. That's not the end of the world. Just don't be cheering for him.
Bro, so he gonna be at the Bulls game, just enjoying the game, I guess.
Right, exactly.
No cheering or nothing.
But don't cheer for the Bulls.
Exactly.
So you gonna book a plane ticket to Oklahoma to go watch the Thunder play? Is that what you gonna? That's where you gonna be this point, Eric?
When they come here,
I'll just wait till they come here, bro, and watch them. Why am I gonna go all the way out there? Like I got the United Center right here. I could just easily cheer for the other team and be like, "Fuck the Bulls" at the end of the day.
What are the odds?
But I know the risk. Trust me, I know the risk. I know it. I understand it. I breathe it. I read it. I understand what a sports mulligan is, and I'm okay with it. I am literally. I'm telling you this right now, November 11th. I am okay giving up my fandom for the Chicago Bulls, and go on and cheer for a new team and never look back.
Big as fuck.
I can.
Real quick, CP. Let's play a little game. You and I. Which team do you think Eric will root for? Who do you think is going to be the front runner for Eric?
He got on that green. I can see him rooting for Boston, maybe.
Oh man,
no.
There's nothing wrong with it. They have a history. They have
a history. They got their guy.
They meet the criteria.
They definitely do. I don't see why not. I mean, bro. Half the team's gonna be eliminated right away. Jazz, Wizards. None of these damn teams got no history. Unless you want to root for the Wizards because of Michael Jordan.
I can see Oklahoma. You mentioned Oklahoma City. I could definitely see Oklahoma City Thunder being a team.
Yeah, I mean the history's kind of there with KD and Russ. I mean they got their guy in SGA. I think their jerseys are kind of cool. So
their colors are nice for sure.
The colors are nice. If you a blue and orange guy,
yeah, I am. It's the fucking Bears.
What matches your wardrobe?
I don't change shit other than the name on the team. That's all I got, bro.
It's a lighter blue. It's a lighter blue.
Different blue.
Different sky blue.
Yeah, I know. This was fun. CP, we miss you, man. Glad you're here on the show, man. We do miss you. Hope you're doing well, man, and everything's good with you. And let's just hope for something for the Bears on Sunday. At least somewhat of an effort, right? I think that's all we can ask for. The bare minimum.
Fuck the Packers.
I'll try to have hope, like you said, bro.
Fuck the Packers.
Yeah,
we want them to look. We want them to win the Packers. Okay, we want the Bears to win against the Packers. We want
right. I don't care if they lose every other game. Just please
Exactly.
beat Green Bay once.
Exactly. Beat
We
Green
can
Bay.
go 2-17 for the rest of the year as long as those 200 are against the Packers.
As long as they beat Green Bay, bro.
Beat
I
the
know.
Packers.
All right, so thank you for watching the Windy City Rundown here with Jose and I and CP as our special guest here. Remember, next week's show, we're going to break down the Bears and the Packers, see how we feel at the end of the day, and we start the new segment, possibly finding my new NBA team as we're going to go down by the divisions up until the trade deadline if the Bulls.
Wait, can I do that with baseball too then? Like, drop my fandom for the White Sox, bro? I ain't finna keep dealing with this shit.
It makes more sense for you to drop the White Sox and Eric drops the Bulls. That's all I'm saying.
It makes sense. Look, just remember, the moment you leave, you can't come back. Just know the
Hey,
consequence.
I have no problem with that, bro.
I'm not gonna be like John that says I root for the Sox and then I root for the Dodgers too as well. Like I can't do that. Like I cannot do that. I can't. I'm sorry. Love you, John. For the Windy City Rundown, Jose Contreras, CP. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for Tone.
Appreciate y'all always.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody that's joined us on the chat. We'll be live next week, same time at 7:30. Join us as we talk Bears Packers. Until then, Jose, hit the outro. Wait, we have no outro.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
He's running like he's got a lobster down his pants, showing that he is as slippery as a bar of soap.
Like poop through a diarrhea-infected goose.
Commented about it.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take this serious.
I'm not.
Real serious. I put my heart and soul into this every single week.
Are we done here?
It's about time.